Hello, my name is Jody McCormick, and I want to share with you some ways that I think Google tools in the Google Suite can help you. Today I'm going to be focusing on Google Forms, and I'm going to be showing you how to use Google Forms in your classroom to make your life easier. So, the objective is that you will be able to create a Google form to check for understanding from your patrons, from your students. You will be able to create a Google form and grade it for a summative grade using Flubaroo, and you will be able to create a Google form to collect information from your students, patrons, and others. So that's what I'm hoping you'll be able to do. You might need to go back and watch this video a couple of times, but I know that you can do it, and these are the outcomes that would help you the most in a classroom. Okay, so to create your own Google form, there's a short video that you can watch here that will show you how to create a Google form. It's really easy. And then here's a video on how to install and use Flubaroo once you have created your Google form. So basically, Google Forms, and I'm going to pull up a Google form. Google Forms are Google Forms is a tool on Google that you can use. We don't need to go to Google Maps. It's a tool you can use to create, sorry, I don't know what happened there. Where you can create like surveys and check, and you can just survey people. And so here's a Google form. It's that purple Google form at the bottom, and you just click on it, and you can see I use it a lot. This is my Google Drive, and it has templates. Google Forms has templates for you to use. You can do exit tickets, course evaluations, or blank quizzes. And then here are a couple of ways that I've used it right here. Whenever I give my students free time to read, I really like to hold them accountable for that. So this is what the form looks like when you create it, and you can title it and then check for understanding like that. This is what the form looks like when you send the link to the form, and students can just type in their names like, my name is Jody McCormick. Right now I am reading Fangirl. I've read 2 pages so far, and yes, of course, I read for fun. Then when you submit it, it goes to the responses, which I will show you right here, and it collects responses. So that's one way you can use a Google form. Another way that you can use Google Forms, and I'm going to show you again, I'm just clicking on the square. Oh, my computer's being slow. There it is. Here it is again, the Google Forms. You can see in my drive, you can go in and edit them. This is a student voice survey that I gave my students, and then this is how I did grading for the final exam. I did quizzes. I had students agree at the end of the year on how they were going to act. So those are just some forms that I've created that are in my drive. One thing that I wanted to show you was that after you create your Google Forms, you can add Flubaroo right here, and it will grade it for you. So this is a video on how you do that. It's super easy, and you can go through and watch it as many times as you need. On the following slides, I'm going to show you some examples from my classroom and how they might work for you. So you can use Google Forms for assessment. This is what the Flubaroo sheet looks like. So after you pull up the Flubaroo video, you can see I've taken out the names, and this is an actual quiz that I gave on A Midsummer's Night's Dream. Here are the student submissions, and after you run the add-on, which is Flubaroo right here, you can see it. After you run the add-on and grade it, it gives you the grades and the percentages, and it gives you an opportunity for long or short answer questions. So I just really appreciate that. It makes my grading, when you teach 150 students, it makes it easy if something will grade multiple choice for you. Another way that you can use it for assessment is that you can collect links to research or to blogs. So I'm going to show you that this was a way that I graded student blogs for creative writing. And it will take you to the student blogs. I will show you my blog spot. And that's just an example, I think. That's really cool. And the last thing that you can do is you can survey your patrons or students. I use Student Voice in my classroom, so I survey my students, and here is a sample response that I collected. I didn't need to grade it, but you can see the first question was, Mrs. McCormick is available to help me when I need it. Our classroom has an atmosphere of collaboration. I am learning. And then this was a free response area for requests. So you could do this with a library and say, which books would you like? What would you like to see more of in the library? And that way you become, I guess, more open to what your patrons want, and you can balance it with what you need in your library. And I made my forms anonymous, and I think that helps people be more honest. So those are some ways that you can use it for assessment. You can also use it for reflections on assignments. Here's an example of a reflection. This is what the form looked like, and they just went through after we had a class discussion, and they reflected on their participation in that. I'm going to leave this. You can have students edit each other's work. Here we wrote a poem and we had a revision checklist, and this is what they were graded on. So I had them check each other's work, and then I shared the collection with them, and they could see who said what about their work and what they needed, and they were supposed to go over this verbally too. So it just really helps them, I think about their writing. And then, so this was directed by the teacher. So I got all of that information, and then this was done by them. And if you see at the very bottom, here was Chris Witt's editing link. And this, you could read his story and check it out like that. So I really, he created that form. All of his answers went, all of the editing went to that, and I love that he made that himself. So those are some ways that you can use Google Forms for your classroom. And I just wanted to look back on the objectives, and I want to make sure you have the information to create a Google form to check for understanding. You can create a Google form to check and grade it for summative grade, and you can collect information from your students and patrons and other teachers in your classroom. And that is all. I hope that you learned some things from this that will help you.